Hello guys, welcome to Krakow video series. In today's video, we'll be discussing about the selection criteria for some of the top non-IIM colleges such as MDI, IIFT, SPJN, XLRI and FMS. So let's get started. So first let us look at some of the parameters for selection in some of these top colleges. So first and foremost is the CAT percentile. So usually the minimum required cutoff percentiles that are required to get shortlisted for the further rounds of the selection process are as follows. So the cutoff percentile for VRC is around 70 to 80 percentile, and similarly for Quant and LRDI also the minimum cutoff is usually around 70 to 80 percentile, and overall should be at least 80, minimum 80 to 90 percentile. Similarly, they also look at your academics, which include your 12th, 10th and your graduation scores, and then the number of months of work experience and gender diversity and academic diversity. So these are some of the major parameters based on which they select you for the further rounds of the selection process, such as interviews and so on. Right, now let's start with MDI, a Management Development Institute. So MDI has been consistently ranked among the top B schools in the country, and the CAT cutoff for MDI is usually around 96 plus percentile, and also in the final selection the weightage for the CAT score is at least 55%. So we'll look at this shortly. And hence, if you can maximize your CAT score, there's a very good chance that you can expect a call from the MDI. So if we look at the selection process of MDI, it's pretty straightforward. So usually the selection process is divided into two stages, stage 1 and stage 2. So in this first stage, candidates are shortlisted for the VAT process, for the VAT, GD and personal interview on the basis of their CAT scores. And as I mentioned earlier, the minimum CAT cutoff is around 96 plus percentile, but this may vary slightly depending on the number of candidates taking the exam and based on the number of candidates to be shortlisted. And in the second stage is where the final selection will be done based on the candidate's performance in personal interview. So a final composite score is calculated usually out of 100, and the final selection will be based on that. So as we can see, this is the final selection criteria at MDI. So this is the stage 2 of the selection process. The CAT score in the final selection, the weightage for CAT is 55%. So as we can see, this carries the maximum weightage. And then your application score, which includes your 10th marks, 12th, academic diversity, gender diversity factors and work experience. All these combined are given 15% weightage, and your personal interview consists of 30%. So usually they also conduct VAT and GD, but due to the COVID situation, the VAT and GD are excluded from the final selection process right now. So based on these factors, the final selection is done. So next, moving on to IIFT, or Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. So IIFT was set up in 1963 by the Government of India as an autonomous organization. And IIFT is also considered as one of the top B schools in the country, and it's consistently ranked among the top 15 B schools in India. And as we know, it's renowned for its MBA program in international business, which is being offered at New Delhi, Kolkata, and Kakinada, which is a new campus. So if we look at the selection criteria of IIFT, so if we look at the stage 1 criteria, which is shortlisting the candidates for the interview rounds, the score in your entrance exam, it's given 73% weightage, and the marks you scored in 10, it's given 10% weightage. Your 12th marks are given 10%. And academic diversity, if you are a non-engineer, you will get 5 points, and they have 2% weightage to the gender diversity factor as well. So totally it sums up to 100. Now let's see how these scores are awarded. So the calculation of the rating scores for marks obtained in your 10th and 12th are based on these tables. So as we can see, these are your percentages in 10th, and these are the rating scores given to the respective percentages. So if you score greater than 90, then you get the complete score of 10. Similarly, if you score between 80 and 90, the score will be 8, and so on. And these are the rating scores given for your score in 12th. So this is also the same as above. If you get greater than 90, you get 10, and if your score is between 80 to 90, you get 8, and so on. These are the sectional cutoffs of IIFT. These cutoffs are based on IFT 2021 exam. So you can have a look at this once. So if you see, these are the sectional cutoffs for each section. These are the total marks and these are the cutoffs for the general and OBC category, and these are the cutoffs for the other categories. Okay, now if you look at the final selection criteria of IFT, so we can see these are the parameters based on which the final selection is done. Your entrance exam score is given the maximum weightage of 45 marks. Then there's 40% weightage to these three factors such as VAT, which is given 10%, GD 10%, and your personal interview is given 20% weightage. Next we have 2% weightage for the gender diversity, 2% for the academic diversity, and 3% for your work experience. And also they consider your academic consistency, such as your scores in 10th and 12th, and they're awarded 8% weightage. Okay, now let's see the rating scores for the work experience. How is this awarded? So as we can see, if your work experience is less than 12 months, the score is 0, and from 12 months to 24 months, the score is 2, and if your work experience is between 2 to 3 years, then you'll get the maximum score of 3. But beyond 3 years, we can see that the scores reduce. So if your work experience is between 3 years to 4 years, then you'll again get only 2 marks here, and if it's beyond 48 months and if it's less than 60 months, you get only 1, and if it's beyond 60 months, that is 5 years, you get 0 again. So this is somewhat similar to the IIM Calcutta. Even in IIM Calcutta, for a work experience of up to 36 months, you'll be given the highest score, and beyond 36 months, the scores reduce. So if your work experience is somewhere between this range, then you can get good score. Next, moving on to SP Jain or SP Jain Institute of Management Research, Mumbai. So SP Jain is a top private college which is located in Mumbai, and one uniqueness of SP Jain is that the applicants are required to choose their preferred stream of specialization in the application form itself. That is while filling their application form. Now if we look at the selection process, they have a very unique selection process. So before we look at that, let's look at the minimum cutoff percentiles to get shortlisted for the further rounds. For CAT, their minimum sectional cutoff percentile is 75 for all the 3 sections and overall 85. And if you look at the GMAT scores, here also the minimum percentile for both the sections, verbal and quant, is 75, and then the overall is around 85 percentile. So the first step towards getting admission into SP Jain is taking the CAT exam, and apart from CAT, SP Jain also accepts the GMAT scores as well. And apart from your CAT or GMAT scores, various other factors are considered for selection of the applicant, such as your overall profile, academic background, your work experience, which is not mandatory, and the versatility in your profile. So let's look at that process. So this is the selection process at SP Jain. So firstly, the candidates' profiles are scored and the applications are sorted out into these 2 groups. One is profile based and another one is profile cum score based. So they give out these 2 kind of calls, profile based calls and profile cum score based calls. So firstly, if you look at their eligibility criteria, the basic eligibility criteria for their flagship PGDM course. So the eligibility criteria is that the candidate should have a bachelor's degree of minimum 3 years and from a recognized university, and with at least 50% marks in his or her graduation. So now if you look at their profile based calls, so candidates who are shortlisted based on their profiles are expected to meet the minimum qualifying scores in at least one of the entrance exams, and as we saw earlier, the overall cutoff should be at least above 85 percentile, and the sectional should be 75 plus percentile. And those who get shortlisted in this first group, which is the first phase of shortlist based on their profile, so they are called for an early interview, and that profile based evaluation is done based on factors such as consistency of academic record, the relevance of your work experience for the specialization, and your versatility and achievements. So consistency of academic record is nothing but if you have scored exceptionally well in your 10th, 12th and your graduation, you'll be awarded more points here. And versatility and achievements is nothing but let's say you have very good if you have excelled in sports or some cultural activities, or if you are from a diverse academic background, and so on and so forth. So based on all these factors, the first phase shortlisting will be done. So if you have a very strong profile here, then you will be directly shortlisted for the interviews. and of course you have to meet the minimum CAT or GMAT criteria. And also, as mentioned earlier, while filling the form itself, you have to choose your preferred stream of specialization. So usually you are given 4 choices. One is finance, you have marketing, information management, then we have operations and supply chain. So from these 4 specializations, you have to give 2 preferences. Let's say you chose these 2. So you have to also give a reason why, you have to give a strong reason why you prefer these streams of specialization. So make sure you pick the right one based on your interests, and if you pick the relevant one based on your interest, and if you can explain it well, you can get the profile based call. And once the candidates are shortlisted based on their profiles, the next round of selection is, they'll usually have a psychometric test and a written ability test. Then there will be 2 rounds of group interviews, and again this is unique to SP Jain. And if you have a very good clarity about yourself and you know why you're pursuing MBA and why you have chosen a specific specialization, if you can explain all this clearly and confidently, there's a good chance that you can ace these group interviews as well. And finally, once these group interviews will be done, the final selection list will be made. And the other type of calls they give out is are the profile cum score based calls, which come under second phase shortlist. So these shortlists are announced based on your entrance exam scores. So candidates are selected based on their profile as well as their performance in the entrance test. So if we look at the parameters for final selection, especially in the second phase shortlist. So for the second phase shortlist, the final selection is pretty simple. It's based on the candidate's profile and their entrance exam scores. Then they just have a personal interview and then the final selection will be made. And for the candidates who got shortlisted in this second phase, here usually there's no VAT or GD or something like that. So they just called for the interview based on these factors, and then they have a simple interview process, and then the final selection will be made. And also if you look at the total intake, the current intake for that PGDM program is 240, and also an additional 36 seats are sanctioned for also foreign nationals. So the total intake for the PGDM program is up to 276 seats. And also if we look at the weightage given to the work experience in the final selection process, usually the work experience is not mandatory, but candidates can have up to 5 years of work experience. But if you have beyond 5 years, that means if your work experience is more than 5 years, then you're not eligible to apply for the PGDM program. Then you can apply for their PGPM program, and that's about SP Jain. Okay, next moving on to XLRI Jamshedpur. So XLRI is also an eminent college and one of the best B schools in the country, and it's ranked consistently among the top B schools of the country. And we know that the first step towards getting admission into the XLRI is taking the XAT exam, or the Xavier Aptitude Test. XAT is conducted in January every year, and over 1 lakh students appear for the XAT exam. Now let's look at their selection process. So firstly, XLRI has 2 flagship courses. One is PGDM in Business Management and PGDM in Human Resource Management. In fact, their HR course is considered the best in the country, in the entire country. So XLRI is very famous for their PGDM and HRM course. So this is definitely one of those colleges you must target. And also if you look at the eligibility criteria for the XAT exam, it's pretty simple. Candidates should have a bachelor's degree from a recognized university. It can be a minimum of 3 years bachelor's degree, and those in the final year of graduation can also apply. And they also accept the GMAT score. So NRI and foreign candidates can apply to XLRI through their GMAT or XAT scores. And if you look at the cutoffs, the XAT cutoffs for courses, let's look at for PGDM BM. So these are the cutoffs based on XAT 2021. So as we can see, the minimum XAT percentile required for males is 76, 74, 83 for these three sections respectively, and overall 94. Similarly, these are the cutoffs for the female candidates. Next, if we'll take a look at their HR cutoffs. So these are the minimum required XAT percentiles. These are the required percentiles for male engineers, female engineers. Then we have male non-engineers and female non-engineers. So you can have a look at this. So if you're someone who is applying through your GMAT scores, the minimum cutoff for the minimum GMAT cutoff is 730 for the BM and 710 for their HRM course. So these are the minimum cutoffs to get shortlisted for the interviews. So next, if you look at their final selection process, so this is after the candidates get shortlisted for the interviews based on the XAT GMAT scores. So the final selection is done based on group discussion, then there's VAT and personal interview. So it's a 3-stage final selection process. And also one good thing about XLRI is they don't place much emphasis on your academics. So if you're someone who didn't perform really well in the academics, but if you can still manage to get a very good score in your XAT, and if you perform well in this second stage of selection process, then you have a good chance of making it to the XLRI. Now if you look at the total intake for BM and HR program, the total intake is 360, and for the GMP program it's 120. Right, now finally let's look at the selection criteria for FMS, or Faculty of Management Studies, Delhi. This is one of the best college in the country, and it consistently ranks within the top 5 or top 6 B schools of the country. So this is a very renowned institute, and this is one of the favorite B schools for all the candidates. So this is especially known for its high return on investment. The total fee for the 2-year MBA program is around 2 lakhs. So the total fee is around 2 lakhs, and their average package is at least about 20 lakhs. And hence it's considered as a very good college for the best return on investment. And if you look at their selection criteria, we know the first step towards getting admission into FMS is taking the CAT exam. If you look at the weights given to the different sections in CAT, the VRC is given 40% weightage, DILR section is given 30% weightage, and QA is given 30. So the selection process in the first round is pretty straightforward. It's not at all complicated. There are no weightages for academics or work experience and things like that. It's purely done based on your CAT score. So if you're someone who can score very well in CAT, if you can get a minimum of 99 plus, then you have a very good chance of getting a call from FMS. To be on the safe side, try to score around something like 99.3 plus percentile. And also in addition to this, 5 marks will be added to this weighted score in case of women candidates for the purpose of shortlisting for the interview process. Next, if you look at the final selection process of FMS, so these are the parameters for final selection. We can see CAT score has the highest weightage of 50 marks. Then there is 15% weightage to your personal interview, then 10% and 10% to the marks scored in 10th and 12th. And again, they have something called this discussion on the statement of purpose. So they have 10% weightage for this. And then there's extempore, which is given 5% weightage. So again, as we can see, the CAT scores is given the highest weightage. If you can score at least 99 or 99.3 plus, then you can highly assured that you can get a call from FMS. And also, since they have 5% weightage for extempore, many of those who are targeting for FMS, they also prepare for this, that is speaking on various topics, improving your speaking skills and so on. And if this goes very good, then it will have an impact on the interview as well. If you perform well here, you will definitely perform well in the interview also. So we can see that there's no weightage for your graduation scores, and there's only 10% weightage for your 10th and 12th scores. So if you're someone who didn't perform really well in your academics, and if you can manage to score a very good CAT percentile, then you can definitely have a very good chance of getting a call from FMS. So this is one of those excellent colleges you should target. So that's pretty much about it, guys. We've seen the selection process of some of the top non-IIM colleges. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more such important videos. So thank you so much, guys. We'll see you in the next video.